This is Mrs. Lugo, one of the school counselors with Florida Virtual School Full-Time High School. I'm going to present a very brief video on the 2019-2020 Florida Virtual School Full-Time course selection for returning rising 11th grade students. Before I tell you how to request your courses, I want to give you some information that will be helpful to you. This slide here is a listing of our high school administrators and high school counselors. As a reminder, you can find your high school counselor's contact information in Focus. When you log into Focus, on the main page, you will see a tab that says My Information. And when you click on that, there will be a menu option for demographic address info. And when you click on that, that will populate a screen which will have your counselor's name, number, and email address on there. So you can find that in Focus if you do have questions. Before I tell you how to request your courses or what you're going to be requesting, I would like to just give you some information regarding the graduation requirements. As you can see on the screen, the different breakdowns for each category. For coursework for English, you need 4 credits in English. You also must have a passing score or concordant score on the 10th grade FSA ELA. For math, there are 4 credits required. One of them must be Algebra 1 and one of them must be Geometry. The other 2 are in math. Students must also pass the Algebra 1 EOC or have a passing concordance score. For science, there are 3 credits required for science. One of them must be in biology. And of those 3 credits, 2 of which must have a laboratory component, which is built into our science courses with Florida Virtual School Full-Time. For social studies, our social studies course progression begins in 10th grade. You need 1 credit in world history. There's 1 credit in U.S. history that's required, half a credit in U.S. government, and half a credit in economics with financial literacy. There is no requirement for world or foreign languages for high school graduation, but there are 2 years required for university admissions, the Bright Future Scholarship, or the Scholar Designation. There's 1 credit in fine or performing arts, speech and debate or practical arts required for graduation, 1 credit in physical education to include the integration of health, and then 8 credits are required in electives for the 24 credit option. For grade point average, students must have a cumulative unweighted 2.0 on 4.0 scale. At the bottom of this slide, you will also see a note. Students must also meet character education requirements per Florida statute, that's the number there. Florida Virtual School Full-Time currently offers 2 courses that meet this legislative requirement. One of them is Career Research, which is a semester or half-year course. The other one is Digital Information Technology, which is a full year or 2 semester segment course. Here are some of our course offerings. We get lots of questions about what courses are going to be offered. These are some examples that we currently offer. They are subject to change. If you would like to find a listing of all of our course offerings, or you have questions about what a course is about, meaning the course description, that is the direct link at the top of this slide. You can also find this information or this link through our resource website. And again, this is just another page regarding the courses that are offered by Florida Virtual School Full-Time. When you are selecting your courses for the 2019-2020 school year, you're going to be selecting your electives and your science course. You will not be able to select your English, math, social studies, or any advanced placement coursework. If you are interested in advanced placement coursework, we are encouraging students to attend our advanced placement night on February 21st from 7 to 8 p.m. If you would like to be considered for advanced placement coursework for next year, please make sure that you fill out the advanced placement application. The link is here on this slide. It will also be posted in Focus as well as sent out through email to parents and students. This slide is our high school course progression. Again, this is subject to change because this is our current course progression. We do have 3 different tracks. One of them is the standard track, one of them the honors, and then the last is the rigorous. This will give you an example of our course progression and what we recommend students take in sequences. Please note that this is based on coursework that you have taken, not necessarily your grade level. So this is just kind of traditional or more common. But again, it's going to go by the course that you're currently taking and how you do in that course to determine what you would take next in the sequence. Because this presentation is specific to 11th grade students, this is a breakdown of the 3 tracks for juniors. And as you can see, we have the regular, honors, and rigorous. So this slide is kind of a review of different information that you can find in Focus. We do get lots of questions about how many credits have I earned, what's my grade point average. You can find this information in your Focus account. When you log into Focus on the main page, you will see a tab that says My Information. And then on the drop-down, you will select Graduation Requirements Report, which will take you to this report, which will be specific to you. So this is an example report, not your report. If you look at this report, you will see different items there. The third column to the right is the one that you want to pay attention to. It's the one that says credits remaining to be taken, because that's what you have taken and what you still need to take. If you see a category such as Algebra 1 on here that has a green check, that means that the requirement has been met. If you see a category that has a green check with an hourglass, that means that part of this requirement has been met, but you also have a course in progress that you need to complete to fulfill the requirement. If you see numbers, that means that you still need to complete that requirement. So again, please check this information in Focus if you want to know where you stand, if you're on track for graduation, or how many credits you have, or what's your GPA. So returning student course selection, you are going to make your course requests for electives and science for the 2019-2020 school year. And how you do this is, first and foremost, log into Focus. On the main page, click on My Information, and when it is time for you to request your courses, you will see a menu there for class requests. You will select that menu, which will take you to a screen which I'm going to show in the next slide. Before you do that, though, we want for you to change the school year. In this slide, the example says the 2018-2019 school year, which is the current school year. You will click on that drop-down menu, and it will give you an option for next school year, which is the 2019-2020 school year. You must change to next school year to be able to request your classes. So again, log into Focus, click on My Information, go to Class Requests, change the school year. When you do that, that will populate a screen that looks like this. There's 2 different places where you can request your courses. I tend to prefer the top box because it's a little bit easier and faster when requesting courses. When you request your courses, you're going to request 5 electives, and you're going to number those preferences 1 to 5, with 1 being your top preference and 5 being your least favored. And you want to use those numbers only one time, so not a bunch of 1s, not a bunch of 5s. Use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to request a course, you're going to click on that box, the top arrow, and what I like to do is I like to type in the first 3 letters of that course. So for example, social media, I put in SOC, that will populate some options. I use my mouse to select the option. I select it and then I click enter, and that puts that into my requests. If you use the quick list, you will use the drop-down menu and scroll for what you're looking for. Once you have selected all of the courses that you want, meaning you've gone in, typed in the name, selected it, clicked enter, you would hit save. On the next screen, it will show you how or where you will number your elective preferences. There is a column that says elective priority. When you click on the elective priority box next to the course, you can put in a number, and you're going to number them 1 to 5, 1 top preference, 5 least preferred. After you have numbered all of your elective preferences, you're going to click Save. Okay. Um, A Florida Virtual School full-time school counselor will review your elective course requests after course selection ends in March. We'll develop your schedule for the 2019-2020 school year so that you have 6 courses per semester, or 12 total segments of coursework, and are taking courses that align with our course progression and the graduation requirements. While we strive to place students in the first choice electives, that's not always possible. Once the school counselor reviews your requests, they will be locked for students, and you will not be able to alter the requests from your Focus portal. You will know that a school counselor has reviewed and scheduled your courses by looking at the top of your class request page. It will indicate approved by counselor, yes, and lock for students, yes. You'll be able to review your tentative 2019-2020 schedule in mid-May, um, and you may request changes to your schedule the last 2 weeks of school before the end of the school year. We will message out when your tentative 2019-2020 schedule is available for you to view, and we'll let you know the procedure for requesting changes towards the end of the school year. So as a reminder, I presented some different links here about course progression and whatnot. You can find all that information on our Florida Virtual School full-time resource webpage, and that's a link there. We also don't want for you to forget the AP Parent Night, which is February 21st from 7 to 8 p.m., and that's the link to get there. If you do have questions, your assigned counselor's contact information is in focus, but here is our alpha breakdown with our email addresses. And I hope that this video is informative and you have a wonderful day.